Flipping the pattern to be much warmer. Look at that right there. It is hot stuff pushing across the middle portion of the country into the east at times, but still some colder air that will meander its way on in towards areas of the Great Lakes into the northeast. As this jet stream pattern changes, it pushes a little bit further off towards the north and allowing for less in the way of troughing and more in the way of Pacific air pouring into a pretty good portion of the country, allowing for that just warmer, sustained temperatures with some bigger heat waves. Now, there will be some pretty cold air coming down into Canada, so there's going to be a juxtaposition at some point, and we'll see an area of snow north. But you can see over the next couple of weeks, lots of strong jet stream air and a few bigger troughs. Now, in the near term, here comes rain, maybe even some rumble of thunder across portions of the Ohio Valley into the Great Lakes, with snow well to the north across the Twin Cities, up into portions of Ontario. And look at that. Yeah, that's going to be a good batch of moderate to heavy rain, a little bit of lake effect snow as the cold air moves back in behind it. And then we will see that system fade off towards the east with another little mini clipper far north Winnipeg area sliding in towards the UP of Michigan. And that will be during that Friday into early Saturday period as it cruises across the Great Lakes with a brief Arctic blast and then another warm up coming right back behind it. So this system moves off towards the east. You can see some snow up into New England a little bit. There'll be some Great Lakes snow, brief lake effect, but the wind directions are going to change fairly quick on the other side of these storm systems, and there's going to be another warming trend through early and middle of next week. Yes, that means Christmas. So white Christmas chances away from snow belts or far northern areas are certainly going to be minimized as we've melted the snowpack a little bit over the last few days. That will continue into next week. There you go into Tuesday. Again, far north snow chances, but rain showers into the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic. Meanwhile, it will be busy at times across portions of the Intermountain West, where we do pick up areas of several inches and even obviously in spots, the Cascades, how about a few feet? Why not? Let's do it. And then pushing further off towards the east, notice the heavy snow stays mainly all north of the border. Not really too much coming in the next week or so across portions of even the Great Lakes, even portions of the Appalachian Mountains. But yeah, off of Lake Ontario, maybe towards the Syracuse area, sure. Closer to the coast, not so much in the way of snow. Certainly going to continue to be windy over the course of the next few days or so, with a lot of wind gusts, 25, 35, 40 miles per hour or so, brief higher gusts as well as those systems continue to push off towards the east. Very typical where you have these big changes up and down in the temperature pattern. Look at these national temperatures. There's brief shots of potent cold air, but then it kind of rebuilds with mild air and even well above average temperatures at times across the areas of the west into the plains and across portions of the south. You can see 75 there by Christmas Eve on your Oklahoma into Kansas area. Lots of 40s and 50s kind of elsewhere. You got to go again pretty far north like Montreal and Minneapolis to really see the cold as we go throughout Christmas. Not going to be warm in Chicago or New York, but certainly not one of the coldest Christmases. Look at that. That's the overall pattern, and yes, this is well above average. And then this area is that more battle zone where it's going to be on the warmer side of things over the next week or so, but there will be some cold holding on for dear life. Look at this. This is January analogs. So if we took a lot of the different years from the past with similar types of weather patterns, put them all in a pot, average them together, this is what we get. And this is a very cold regime across a pretty big area of the country. Is it going to end up quite this cold? Certainly not set in stone, but we do believe the warmer air that we talked about arriving sometime mid to later January might be pushed back, which does allow for a few weeks of some pretty cold air compared to average for January standards. Precipitation-wise, super wet out west, very dry in the middle, and a little bit more of the up and down into the northeast.